Rob freaking Liefeld, how are you doing, my friend?
Good, good. What's up? How you guys doing?
Very good, very well. Very excited because, of course, we're talking about Deadpool's 30th birthday. It's bananas to think about that right now and like where we are in the world and everything that's gone on. And you and I have known each other probably like 15 years or so. And to think that double that time is how long Deadpool's been around. Of course, first appeared in New Mutants way back when in 1991. Can you tell us, and for all the fans who are eager to hear about these cool stories, what that was like? You know, when I think of that time period, I think of like intense creation and cool ideas and characters and stuff. And it's like Cable and Domino and Shatterstar and friggin' Gideon and all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah. And Deadpool, like just coming out of it. What was that creation like back then?
Ryan, I'm going to tell you, it is shocking to me too that it's been 30 years. It is like, I just go, what? Because I can remember, I mean, it was like yesterday. I keep artifacts of, I don't throw anything away. So I have all the little sketches and the notes and the, which I'm going to share with you later. But no, I was in I love my office at the time. So I was in Orange County. It was part of the Marvel editorial called us the West Coast. There was West Coast rap, and it was like the West Coast crew, because it was a time where, growing up, my heroes were all East Coast based. George Perez, John Byrne, Walt Simonson, Frank Miller, all these guys worked in New York, and suddenly with FedEx and fax machines. And one of the things Cable and Deadpool were coming through the fax machines. I have to describe to my kids what a fax machine. That's an FAX for our listeners. And it was a machine where you fed a paper in, and on the end it would go, and on the other end came out a new character like a Shatterstar or a Deadpool or a Cable that I was pitching to Marvel for an upcoming storyline. And the thing is that period of time was really just exciting. And because we were the West Coast crew, we had convinced Marvel to get these fax machines to receive all of our ideas, and it made things so much easier. But that time I had a loft office that I did pretty much the entire New Mutants X-Force run in. So that 2.5, 3 years was all in that one studio space. That was just an exciting time. And Deadpool and Gideon and Domino, because we don't want to leave out Domino and Gideon. They get offended because they're like, we're 30 years old too.
That's right.
I got what I wanted. I had petitioned to, take over the book, and was told when I came on that they were going to make a shift in all the creative teams. And that's when you got Jim Lee on the X-Men, and that's when you got Wills on X Factor. So really exciting time. But Ryan, I did not have Wolverine and Spider-Man at my disposal. Okay. When we had Wolverine appear in New Mutants 93 and 94, it was back in the day you would submit. Okay. Like, may I have Wolverine in my book? And then they would take some time to clear it. They would, it's kind of, I think, the same way now. I mean, if you write the comic, you have the dominion over that character. They're not going to yank Captain America or Hulk out from that writer and put him in something that without at least acknowledging their input. So I had to wait for approval from Chris Claremont, from everybody else, if we could have Wolverine, how were we going to use him? Because again, I didn't have those tools, and I loved Wolverine and I loved Spider-Man, but the New Mutants, we were doing a whole remake. And so now they're letting me write the book and draw the book. So, I figured like Cable had done very well. So now how do I follow that up? And I stacked the deck. People ask us all the time, why are these three characters in the same book? I'm like, I figured one of them had to work, right? I mean, I was literally trying to find a facsimile. I know I have a bunch of the facsimile copies and the different reprints you guys have done over the years, but of course today I could not find a single one of them. So I had to go and get one of the this is my reader copy of New Mutants. All the others are slabbed because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get notices when this airs. I can't believe how he's touching that comic. The collector's world. I can't believe how he's touching it. I've been like, when I've done.
Did you save many from back then? Did you have the foresight to save some of those?
So check this out. I did last summer. Okay. The great thing is, no, and I got comps back. You guys still give great comps. But Marvel would send me comps. And so it was 4 Easters ago. We always go to my wife's father's house. And I have known my wife longer than Deadpool. I mean, I met 35 years. We've been married 26, but I was friends with the family, and her parents and her family were really supportive of me. So I would always give them copies. Ryan, I am going through. I said, hey, Winston, that's her dad's name. I said, can I look through the file cabinet where you have all the comics? And dude, there's 8 New Mutants 98's Tony copies. And I'm like, oh my gosh. What? And 87, he had, and I said, can I get these slabbed for you? I want to get them slabbed. And so he let me submit them. I put them through the grading service and gave them back to him. I said, this is you, if you're going to have these, and maybe you'll give them to my kids, the grandkids later. But now they're really protected. And so then last summer, I'm in my storage unit, of which I have too many storage units. But my second storage unit, I am looking in, and Ryan, there's my New Mutants. And there's about 20 of them, 20 98s.
Come on.
So I did. I got half of them. Graded, and the other ones I just haven't yet, because that process is it's long and it's expensive. But anyway, so before they freak out, yeah. So the reason there's 3 of them on this not minty copy of New Mutants is I was just like, one of these characters is going to pop. Okay. One of them. And I always tell people 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Domino and Deadpool. Okay. They're on, they made it to the next level. Gideon is still back there going, when's my time? When's the green ponytail gonna click?
You know, I'm a big fan. I love Gideon. He'll always have a special place in my heart. Yeah. So you were saying you had like sketches and different things, and you had your ideas were pumping. Right. Did you put the same number of like faxes through and sketches for all 3 characters, or was it all at once? What was that like?
Well, no, it would, for that issue, I submitted Gideon, Deadpool, and Domino. And look here, let's just cut to the chase. I can share that with you right here, because so here's the first thing. So the entirety of these pages is New Mutants 98, and they're musty and they're old. But for instance, the reason I wanted to go get that, get the New Mutants 98s is because right here, these 2 layouts are what you see right here. Okay. Those are like my rough breakdowns. And so I would lay the entire issue out and put it through to editorial, and then, for everybody else to follow. So this is the kind of stuff that I would do. And then of course here, this stick figure right here, but you've got Cable down here. You've got Deadpool right there. There's Deadpool right there. This is many pages. That is a rough breakdown of what you see right here. Remember, everyone watching this is my reader copy. Do not flip out that I'm not taking minty care of this. I can already hear all about it. But so then, Ryan, what I would do is, so here, for instance, is Domino's. This is the original. That's the ink on paper. I took it out. So this is Domino. This is when I submitted to her. And then I have them in the shiny plastic. But here's the Deadpool. There's the first Deadpool sketch. And then on the back, because I would send, I'd have to FedEx the colored stuff in. But then this, and if you look closely, there's a Shatterstar right there in pencil. Oh yeah. But there's the first, all the renderings that I would send in. Because again, I wanted Bob, who was my editor at the time, to know what I was doing and where I was taking it. And I always put little notes. Marvel Age magazine printed a bunch of these out back in the day. They did like a 2-issue. Maybe it's 49, 50, 51. Some issues of Marvel Age did a 2-part Rob Liefeld sketchbook, the Rob Liefeld New Mutant sketchbook. And you'll see, because that was 87, all of the Mutant Liberation fronts. So Zero, Thumbelina, Forearm, Strobe, Tempo. And then there was one dedicated just to all my Cable sketches. And again, all the sketches, all the notes that I would put next to them. And I mean, it was just fun because I had seen Arthur Adams. I was modeling these. I saw Art Adams' long shot character proposals. And so I was always, in your mind, you're like, I'm gonna be like Art Adams today. I'm gonna show Marvel my Domino. I'm gonna do it like my idol Art Adams did, or Arthur Adams as he's called now. So I would submit those through. And Ryan, the great thing, again, I'm 22, I'm 23. Cable had been such a success that they literally were like, yeah. Okay, Rob. Yeah, whatever. Good good. That's good. You're cleared. And I was like, great. So there was like, I'd like to think that we earned it because New Mutants really went on a tear there, and we got to X-Force. But it was just great. And so the next level is I will take these out to eliminate the shine. But this is
before you move on, Rob, real quick. So
yeah.
That's less than a year from the launch of Cable, right? So that's
right.
87
right.
to 98. And we were shipping monthly at that time, I assume.
Right.
And so in that time frame, like, do you remember how quickly that clicked for Cable, and then like you were getting those like yeses, go, go, go?
So yeah, I hope this is cool, because I mean, as a society, we consume box office numbers, and this morning I read ratings of Nielsen ratings. So that when I took over New Mutants, look, for whatever reason, it had just kind of run out of some steam. Wolverine, X Factor, and X-Men were all in the 500, 300,000 range. So which is huge, right? X-Men, New Mutants was 110,000 copies when I took it over. Then when the first issue with Cable, the retailers, Marvel had promoted, there's a new character coming, that went up to 127,000. And again, I was getting eventually I'd get all these on royalty stubs, because back then you got your sales too. And the editorial team was cheering me on. Now that Wolverine Cable issue, that was huge. That broke us into like 350,000 sales. But remember, at that point, that's 6-7 months out from starting at 110. And look, the standard for the X books was high, because, I mean, remember, Marvel is shipping X-Men twice a month in some cases. So that's twice a month at maybe 500,000 units or higher. And then X Factor was clicking, Wolverine. So Cable had an immediate effect. And look, it was that the Wolverine theorem is the mystery. I knew, like, Cable, we had to make him a man of mystery. And same with Deadpool, make him a man of, and look, I tied them both to Wolverine. He's my favorite character of all time. He will never not be my favorite character, right? Sure. So that's when I was like, hey, can I have Deadpool be part of the Weapon X program? I remember going like this is the big call, man. And I'm making the call, and I said to my editor, I said, okay, so Wolverine is Weapon X, and that is a Roman numeral X. So that's 10. Is that correct? Yes. Have you shown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? And I didn't see them, because to my knowledge, you haven't, but maybe and they're like, nope. I said, and I've told people I had gone to see the movie Twins in 1989, the holidays, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, these were two big Hollywood stars at the time. For everyone who's going, who are those people? And the thing is that the idea was that they were twins. Well, at the end of the movie, the big reveal is they were both genetically engineered. And you've got the scientist, and he says, about Arnold. Arnold goes, "How are we twins?" And he goes, well, you're the good stuff. You were all the good material. And then Danny DeVito goes, but what about me? And he goes, you were the crap of the program. And Arnold goes, you're the crap. You are the crap. And Danny goes, I'm the crap. And so I literally said to Marvel, what if Wolverine is Schwarzenegger and Deadpool is the crap? And that's why he looks like crap, because he fell short. They hadn't gotten there yet. They hadn't gotten to their perfected rendition of Weapon X. Now, obviously, because I wouldn't let go of that, in X-Force 2 with Kane, Garrison Kane, who is hunting, he's Weapon 11. Like, because now we've expanded to flying limbs and cybernetic parts. And again, Ryan, I just got the clearance all the time. Yeah, whatever you want to do, Rob, whatever you want to do. So I was like, this is rad. Like, this is so much fun. So I mean, that is the kind of stuff that I would just call them up. And Cable had really made its impact, and New Mutants had. And then you got to understand, we went into Extinction Agenda, which is, I think that trade paperback is right there. I see it behind you. The Extinction Agenda, that blew up. So we, had a year of just climb. And then we, rocketed out of that with New Mutants 98. And again, they had, it's like, be careful what you wish for. I had really wanted to write the book, and they let me. And so now I'm, submitting the plots, the stories, the outlines for a year. And it's all supposed to be building towards this relaunch with X-Force. And the great thing is, Deadpool 98, when it hit, they called me up, and I have this story hasn't changed for 30 years, because it was this is the first time they said, Rob, can I remember the editor said, can you put Deadpool in issue 100? And I said, I just FedExed out the last 10 pages. No, like, when you finish a page, you do not want to go back and put anything else in. And he's like, okay, no chance. You can sneak him in for a page. And I go, no, why? And they're like, Rob, we have never had this much fan mail on one character. He hit a chord. He just took off. And so when you ask yourself why Deadpool is a card in X-Force #1 and why he is the first 12 pages of X-Force #2, that was Marvel going, hey, we need you to fast track it. And where this is historically annotated is in the Marvel Age X-Force preview. They do an interview with me, and I talk about how I'm bringing back Deadpool in issue 6 and 7. And that's where no, that's not how it happened. He got put in 2 because what I say to people, the fans, I've lived it. The fans demanded it. I literally can say I have lived because you demanded it, because the fans demanded it. They were like, we need more.
I want to get to the fans in a second, because that's a great important point. But you were, I apologize because I interrupted you. You were about to show us some other really cool stuff that you were about to show off. So
these are I would take an 8.5 by 11 page, and you can see on the back the dirty fold. So I have all of these from 98. So I have always wanted, I like working small. I like getting the kinks out small. And then I would blow these up back then on a light table. I would go to the copy shop, blow these up to 11 by 17, and then transfer them on a light table and then ink them, because I was penciling and inking the book. So these are like, these are cool to me. Again, more than they're like a time capsule to me. They're a moment in time. And again, I have, I won't take these out, but like these are also from X-Force 2 when Kane and Deadpool are fighting the entire sequence. Again, I just, I have all of these on these half of 8.5 by 11 pages. Some of them, like earlier issues, I was doing them on the inside. So literally I have they're mini comics. They're my original mini comics. So this is the original art is long gone, but this is a form of the original art. So I hold on to these. And again, this is kind of how I would take from those 11 by 7, these notes, and then, build the story. It seems like a lot of work, but everybody has their methodology. The guys like Jack Kirby who can go, I'm just going to draw at the top of this page and finish and go have a sandwich. Like he was otherworldly, and I can't do that. I had to process it all out. So, and that's still the way I work today. So this is my process, but so this is fun. Just sharing these and hopefully people can see. I mean, again, if you look real close, there's some bad stains on this. I don't know what this is, they're roughed up, but they're going to be with me for a while. Yeah. I want a museum exhibit of all this stuff, of just going and walking through and seeing these things up close. We had these Marvel exhibits and seeing some original pages, a lot of, original Kirby or Starlin stuff. I love this process. So thank you for sharing all those. Those are awesome. If you guys keep making as much Deadpool stuff as you're making, I can't keep up with it. And my wife has actually requested, can't you get a place to display this that's not in the house? And so far, we're getting right up to the place where it might be a problem, because I've contained it, but it can't be contained anymore. Okay. There's too much. I just moved in 55 long boxes to my new house, so I get it. I fully understand it. There you go. Yeah. So fans, if you want a Marvel museum, let us know, just like you let us know back in the day that you wanted more Deadpool. See what I did there? There you go. Back to that. And so, all right, you're getting the fan mail, you're getting all the excitement, you're getting the word from people, but from Marvel. But when do you start hearing from the fans themselves? Is it a convention? Is it, how quickly does it get that one-to-one? Because I've seen you at conventions. We've been at conventions a million times. Hopefully we'll get to go back to them again soon. But I've seen fans interact with you, and I love the passion and the excitement and the love for your work is there. What was that like back in 91 or 92? Well, the great thing is, for every issue of New Mutants, I was being asked to appear at area, comic stores, and there are so many in that, from San Diego to Los Angeles. I would, book a different store. And that is the best way with which we could experience the jump. I mean, Ryan, I'd go to these stores and I'm driving up figuring I'm going to spend 2 hours. And I really, it was not expected. I would pull up and you're like, wait, the line for 98 is crazy. I did that. I did a signing for New Mutants 98 in Pomona, in a comic store in Pomona in California. And then I did one for 99 and then for 100. And so again, you're getting the feedback. And like you said, the 90s, you guys have the 90s, you have like the 80s, the 70s, the 90s collections of all the characters. And that was such an exciting time. And for me, the 70s was the same way, because that's when, Luke Cage appears and trust me, because I have a whole podcast on diversity in comics and how Marvel was blowing up. Black Goliath, Luke Cage. I mean, as a kid, I collected all of them. Iron Fist, that was a great explosion. And then in the 90s, whether it was Darkhawk, Sleepwalker, Cable, Venom, Deadpool, an exciting time. And I know some of these guys who are doing these as well. They're my friends, Maverick. Hey, I'm a Maverick fan. I like Maverick in the X-Men, Jim's Maverick character. I mean, it was an exciting time. So it was just, you would get feedback from the fans. And I think they really welcomed it. And we were all of us, myself, Jim and Wills, we were so thrilled to be a part of the X-Men canon, the X-Men universe. I mean, that was our favorite franchise. I mean, that was our favorite team book concept characters. There was nothing like it. It remains my favorite to this day. So now I was very reverential. Like, that's why when I say they were like, you can do whatever you want, it was different than even 6 months earlier. Like, can we use Wolverine yet? We're waiting for clearances, Rob. We'll let you know. It's like, so not 92. Okay. How about issue 93? No. Okay. Oh, we are going to, okay. We got him, so it was just exciting to be contributing to the giant, X-Men canon, but the fan feedback was always right there. I have, Polaroids from the 98 and that 100 signing from the stores, and all, because literally, Ryan, it was like, whoa, I got my, I think all of us have a story in the business where our parents were like, what are you doing? What do you mean you're going to draw comic books? That's not a job, And my dad was always super supportive. And my mom, God bless her, she was very skeptical. Like, oh, get your head out of a comic book. So I was taking pictures like, Mom, people like my stuff. Like, they're showing up. Like, it's doing well. So those are really fresh. It's all fresh memories. But the fans were the best. They carried us. They showed up. I mean, the Marvel connection with fans, to me, has always been the very best. Whether it was, right when I broke into the business, you guys would do game shows at San Diego. The late great Mark Grunwald would host like game shows, like quiz shows, and bring the professionals on stage, and the fans would interact. And I'm sitting there going, this is fantastic. The Marvel connection with the fans has always been top notch. Like, so to be part of it, I mean, just this morning, Ryan, I kid you not. I mean, I'm my own man. If I don't believe it, I do not say it. I said to my wife, I go, I hate the word brand, but there's nothing like Marvel in the culture. And it's weird being a high school kid who was hiding my comics, in my Peachy folder, and was semi-mocked, like, oh, you're reading a comic book, to now like being part of that, and now going on, like, for me, whatever 1989 is that 32 years being associated with Marvel is just it's a blast, and the fans are the best.
Yeah, we're thankful for them. We're thankful for everybody who's watching here. I do have some fan questions I want to get to, but you mentioned like all the merch and all the cool stuff. I've got a ton of Deadpool stuff that both I've collected and I've gotten just by being a Marvel person over the years. Do you have any favorite pieces, anything that you just like this is never going to be put away in storage?
Yeah, well, most everything, gosh, but you guys just recently, I'm very careful. This is my favorite of all the Deadpool statues that you guys have put out, because it's got this slice of him that looks like a T-bone steak, right?
Oh, gnarly.
And is this, I gotta be honest, it's the first time I was like, why isn't this way bigger? Like, I needed this to be a lot bigger. Like, I'm like, hey, dear Sideshow, could I have it? Like, if there's a version you didn't use that's twice up, because this would greet you when you walked into my house. if I had my say. Okay. And the fact that the hand is severed, but still on the sword, this is masterful design and sculpting. I mean, so this is my favorite Deadpool anything ever at this moment until next week. Because you guys literally can't stop putting out, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? Be careful.
We can't stop selling it either. It's you know, it's great. It's a good
to hear.
Yeah.
Now, ironically, this looks just the same, but this is the bank, right? This is a bank. I put you put your savings, your coins. Even though no one uses coins anymore, we have these. I'm going to tell you the 30th. This is the redo of the Toy Biz original that you guys did last year, and I just love this. This came in like a special packaging, special box, but I mean, obviously, there's no shortage of these. I mean, I don't know what brand, but the thing that I love, the thing that I absolutely love, is you guys made Deadpool cute and cuddly. And also in that same page that I do the cute and cuddly, Venom Pool is my favorite anything, anywhere. I can't get enough of this guy. You know, for those of you watching, you had to hunt down each piece in the Spider-Man set. His head was his chest, his arms, his leg, you know, but Venom Pool, baby. You guys do the mashups better than anybody I've ever seen. And so my Venom Pool mashup, I just look at those swords. Look at the chunky swords. So this is so I got to kind of cover this in my contribution to the Deadpool 30th comic book that you guys are publishing, because it is funny to see. Like I got to draw like Ed McGuinness and draw like Scotty Young, and because those are some really fun depictions of Deadpool. So I love the whole. And then Funko Pop, I think, has a separate wing where they do 2 new Deadpools a day, because it's fantastic. So those are some of my current favorites.
Your covers, the really cool Deadpool 30th anniversary covers, love those. Those look awesome. Did you just have like carte blanche to just put whoever you wanted, do whatever you wanted?
Well, I gave them a list. So to the Marvel overlords, I gave them, I submitted a list, and then they said we'll give you assignments. And just this morning, I got 4 new assignments. And I mean, I would not. Guardians of the Galaxy was on my list. It was. Silver Surfer was not. So that was fun. I was like, cool. Because, I don't know your publishing schedule for the year. And so I think it's 3 to 4 a month I'm doing. So it's great when I get the submissions to who I'm doing. And so I can tell you, I Deadpool and Captain Marvel I'm doing. They just handed me that. And Deadpool and Thor, which I'm thrilled, because those are fun shots. And so I'm just trying to make them all different. The Silver Surfer one, I really wanted to make different. And I wanted him on the edge of the surfboard and riding in space with Silver Surfer. So it is a blast. I love doing them. And seeing them come together is really fun.
Yeah. The one with Rocket, the Guardians one, I loved your Rocket. I don't think I've ever seen you draw Rocket before. I freaking loved it. It looked great.
I'm like, how do I pull this off? Oh, I'll have him stand on a crate. Okay. He's standing on a crate so he can be in the frame and they look badass. And then I put Groot in the back, and it was just, I figured I'll top it off with just them because they're the weirdest, coolest. And Ryan, come on, whether it's cartoon, video game, live action, what would that team up be like? What would Deadpool, Groot, and Rocket Raccoon like? And literally, when you guys showed the cover, that is all social media could talk about was like, this has to happen. And now you're like, we live in this world where it could. That's just insane. It's insane.
Yeah. All right. We have to let you go soon, but I do want to get to a couple of fan questions because, as we've talked about, it's all about the fans.
Yes.
So, we were just talking about team ups. One of the fan questions is, what has been your favorite Deadpool team up? Who do you like seeing him side by side with?
The Jerry Dugan did a team up with Wolverine and Captain America. I forget what the storyline was called.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. One of my favorites.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Deadpool team up. I think the execution on those issues was fantastic. Anytime I'm reading something and I go, I'm pissed off that I didn't draw that. I know that, like, it hit a nerve. That is my favorite. I know you guys have that. It's part of a collection too, so it's easy to obtain. And look, what I do nowadays, sometimes I'll go to 2 comic stores, I'll strike out, and I'm like, boom, oh, it's on my phone now. Hello. So yeah, that's a great one. That's my favorite.
All right, I like that one. Let's see. We've got a couple of different things we've touched on. Here's an interesting one just about his character. Would you describe Deadpool as a tragic hero, or would you even describe him would you describe him as a hero at all? Or where would you like categorize who Deadpool is?
Look, I described him with a very certain word, and I'm not sure I can repeat it, so I won't. I think the downgrade of that is he's a jerk. But he's and I think when you read his adventures month in, but is he a jerk with a heart? Sure. I mean, there have been great Marvel characters that have been jerks before, and a jerk is a funny character to play with, and jerks can find their way. But yeah, he's got great heart, but I wouldn't call him. I don't believe he's tragic. He makes the best of every situation he's in, and he knows. The thing about Deadpool is, and this goes from the very beginning, giving him the healing factor, because I didn't feel like Wolverine was having as much fun with that healing factor. And again, I'm like, can I give him Wolverine's healing factor? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, holy, I am just robbing Wolverine blind here. And they're like, do it, Rob, do it. It's cool. And then I love how it plays out in all mediums where they compare their healing factors, but he knows what he's capable of. And he's cocky. I mean, Deadpool I think he's very cocky. And he knows that given that healing factor gives him an edge on everybody. But, there have been tremendous stories with great heart with Deadpool. And then there have been ones where he is just at the end, you're like, wow, he really got one over on everybody, which is kind of what a jerk would do. So that's my take.
Yes.
But he's lovable.
One more.
You guys made him lovable. Come on, Ryan. He's cute and cuddly now. Okay.
He is. The producers are probably screaming at me, but one last one, because again, the fans. I like this one. It says, who wins in a fight, Deadpool or Wolverine, Deadpool or Cyclops, Deadpool or Strife? And Strife, one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite designs.
Thank you. Wow. I'm going to say Deadpool. He finds his way to triumph in everyone. So I'm sorry. Is the bias there? Of course it is. But the healing factor is look, I've seen fan films where Deadpool doesn't win. And I'm like, that's not right. That fan film, whoever they had him pitted against, you're just, no. Deadpool is going to triumph. He is going to regrow. He is going to regenerate, and he's going to come back and he's going to get you. Okay. So there you go.
There you go. Rob, it's been an absolute pleasure. I always love getting a chance to talk to you, especially when it's just Deadpool love and excitement. And thank you for 30 years of Deadpool. We wouldn't be here.
Happy 30th anniversary, man. This is so great. Thank you for hanging with me. I really had a great time. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome.